More and more people are adopting our price targets by the day, and so many questions coming in. I just really want to show you how you use them, especially if you're trading. And we're going to try and do a little bit more of a simulation here. So this is Dutch gas, TTF. A lot of our clients trading gas using the targets. Here's the daily chart with the downside target, still below the cloud. We talked about this in charts today, this morning. We went out as bullish to clients this morning with the upside targets, and you can see here on the 60-minute chart how those upside targets have been met. And then the 10-minute chart, if we look at that, we've got upside targets that have kicked in today and they've been met. And the 1-minute chart, these are the targets right now in train. So what I want to have a go at is actually showing you how these targets would work if you were actually using them trading TTF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and have a go at this by setting this back to the beginning of the year. So I'm going to go back to the start of January. I'm going to set the chart. And so my chart is actually now at the 2nd of January 2024, and at that point Dutch gas was at around 34. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to step through the chart as we go, so we can actually just see how the targets are generated. So there we see that target was orange, and then it goes to green because it was activated. We get a new red target. We don't pay a lot of attention to the targets then when they're below the cloud, but suddenly we're above the cloud, and then we're back. And this target wasn't reached, and then we get a new downside. Orange turns to red as that target is activated, and then we see here how the targets just kick in. Another orange target kicking in there. The green targets are counter trend, so we pay less attention to these on the 60-minute chart. I'm just stepping through the data, and we see how that works. And we just keep going through the data, and each time we watch this target. So there's a new upside target. These targets, we're below the cloud, so we pay less attention. That second downside target was negated. That one's negated with a new low. And so we start to see a new target kicking in, and we're making newer lows. So we know these targets are now starting to look like they're really starting to happen. So I'm just stepping through the 60-minute data here as we go, and you're watching the chart just grow live as we're watching these downside targets being met. So that's how you would see it on the 60-minute chart. Another new target generated with that thrust and a new low. And so you're just watching these downside targets the whole time. So really quite interesting just seeing that we're now on the 19th of January, looking at the date in the top right-hand corner there, still below the cloud. So we're paying more attention to these downside targets as they kick in. And lo and behold, that upside target was negated. And we just keep going. Another new downside target off a thrust. And we're watching how the previous target set at 25, which was really very hard to believe. Then we've got another upside target, and that's the risk of what we're facing now. We're seeing a thrust. Will we see that turn into a new move for the downside? And we just have to watch the targets. So that's on the 60-minute chart. And of course, that is, if you like, a slower measure of the targets, but we'll see how the targets just keep kicking in as we go through the data. So really quite interesting there. And I just keep clicking the data. We just watch. There's another orange target. It'll turn red when it's activated, 24, and we're pushing lower. This is the risk of any of those upside moves, is they're just giving you a thrust for the downside. At no time was the lagging line above the cloud, so we pay much more attention to the downside targets there on TTF. Now we can just keep going on the 60-minute chart, but let's have a go and see what happens if we do it on, say, the 10-minute chart. So here what I could do is I could say, okay, well, I want to go back, let's say I want to go back to the 1st of February, so I can literally go back and put that date in my chart. So go to the 1st of February, and here's how the chart looked on the 1st of February and using the target. So I had these upside targets, they were given and met, and now I can just step through the data on the 10-minute chart, and it's going to build, and we just watch the targets develop. And the key thing is, if you're trading, these thrusts are generating these targets for you, absolutely vital as we go through on the 10-minute data, and you'll just notice how this is now much more about the intraday moves, and now we've got a very interesting situation there where we had two targets waiting for them to be resolved. I can just move the chart a little bit to the left here, and we see how those targets have been met on the 10-minute, and so you can step through and do that. Now the 1-minute chart is going to be the one that a lot of people are going to watch trading. So if I just go to the start of the week, so that's the let's go back to Friday the 23rd. So I literally go and take the chart back a few days. Of course, you would be watching this. I'm just trying to show you how you would have seen this chart and the targets develop as you go. So this is what the chart looked like on Friday. On the 23rd, we finished the day. Well, we were actually at around 4 o'clock. We had these upside targets, and all I have to do is just step through the data. And so we're now on the 1-minute. We had a downside target towards the end of the day. That's where we ended the day. Notice how that downside target was met. Then we had a new upside target, so looking a bit more promising for the start of next week. And on Friday, where did we get to? So we were just pushing higher, and this is 1-minute data, remember, so we're really pushing through here now. And we're on Friday, on Monday morning, really interesting picture there on Monday morning. We've got this orange upside target. Will that be activated? We're waiting for a new high to activate that. And now a couple of downside targets kicked in on Monday morning. That's where the price went. And then we see a new upside target, and we just keep going through the data. It was negated because we moved below the thrust point. We had another one off that low, and interestingly, that was actually activated. And then we watch the price just going towards that target. And this target's given at 8 in the morning, saying it's going to be met around 9 o'clock. So we just keep going, and we just keep going through the data. Then we have a little a little downside target waiting for that to activate that orange. It'll turn red if we get a new low. It's negated because we move above the point where the thrust started, and we just keep going. And we just keep going through the data, and you can see that this is the power of the targets, watching them in real time. And it's really powerful just seeing how these targets are generated. And of course, you'd be watching these live on a 1-minute chart. I'm actually stepping through the history here and remembering that you can run these charts. I'm running here on Thomson, on Refinitiv or LSEG Icon. You could run this on Bloomberg, on Trayport, on Montel, whatever data feed you've got, you can run these targets just like this. And we see how this upside target was given yesterday. Well, actually, that's I should say on Tuesday, and then a new downside target given. And you're just watching these targets just kick in. That one turned red from orange because we activated the thrust level. And now we're pointing towards that downside target. This is on the 24th, so that's a few days ago now. And we just literally keep going. And it's really powerful just how you watch these targets activate as you go. And so we could go through the rest of the week, but if I literally take the date and take the date off, we see today's targets really quite key, the way these targets just play out. And this is where we are right now. So these are the targets. This one was given this morning, given at 25.11. It's been met already, and we've now got new upside targets. So this is really just how you use the targets live. This is on TTF. You could do this on German power, on carbon, in fact, on any chart you like, Bitcoin, currencies, you name it, just the way you use the targets. But remember, you want to think about your medium term, your short term, your very short term, and your ultra short term with the 1 minute. And that's how you're using the targets. And as I say, more and more traders are adopting these. If you want to have a go for yourself, just let us know and we'll put you on and you'll see for yourself just how powerful they are. I look forward to helping you use these. Bye for now.